Hey guys, it's me. So I did a 15-minute video about oxygen, just a little informative video, but my stupid computer messed up. So I'm gonna try to redo this. It's about 4:30 in the morning. I woke up about 4 o'clock, and I actually woke up because my oxygen messed up. And our doctor always tells us, if you're not getting enough oxygen at night, like before you pass out, your brain will automatically wake you up. So I think that's why I woke up, because my oxygen wasn't working. So I had to switch to one of our backup emergency, whatever they're called, containers, whatever. So anyways, I want to do a little information video about oxygen. As many of you know, I am on oxygen full time. It's my job. No, not really, but still, that's what it feels like. Sorry. Okay. So, oxygen. Let me tell you a little story. Before I was on oxygen, I was in pulmonary rehab just to build myself up. And at this time, I was going to Cincinnati Hospital to receive my CF care. And one day at rehab, I had to do a 6-minute walk test, which is just a test. You walk for 6 minutes, and they check your O2 saturations by this little probe thing on your finger. And so whenever I was doing that, my O2 sats were like 75, and that's not good. You wanna be 88 or higher, and 98 is like a goal number to reach. But so we did that, and I hadn't been on oxygen to exercise or anything, and I was maintaining my O2 saturations. So to see this number, me and the rehab instructor were just like, this can't be right. Something must be wrong with the machine. But I did feel a little bit winded, but not so horrible. But so coincidentally, I had a clinic appointment a few days later, and I didn't tell her about it because I thought it was the machine messed up. So we had to go into the hospital. And whenever Dalton and I are admitted together, which happens a lot of the times, we are never in the same room. We're usually a few rooms apart. They try to put us as close together as possible, which is great, and we really appreciate that. But when I went in, they hook you up to all these monitors. You have, blood pressure, O2 saturation, which O2 saturation just measures how much oxygen is in your blood. So, if it's down in the 70s, that's not good, because once your O2 sats drop, there's not enough blood or oxygen getting to your brain. So, it could cause serious damage if you let it go too low for too long. So, anyways, back to what I was saying. We were in the hospital, and she plugged me up to the blood pressure, the O2 saturation, just everything. And my O2 sats were in the 60s. And she was like, "Are you on oxygen?" And I'm like, "No." And like at that time, like I didn't feel good, but like I didn't feel horrible. And like that's the thing that most people don't understand is that just because I'm on oxygen doesn't mean I can't breathe all of the time. Yeah, like there are times where, like right now where I'm short of breath, but there are also times that I can go without oxygen for a little bit and be fine. I mean, my numbers aren't fine, but physically I feel fine. So, um, so back to the hospital story. We were in there and they were in the 60s, and she was like, "You need to be on oxygen now." And so I put the oxygen on, and then like during the whole hospital stay, if I got off oxygen, I would drop down to the 60s, like no matter what. And like I didn't understand because physically I felt okay, but my numbers were horrible. And like that's really bad. 60s is really bad. And like I would visit Dalton and I wouldn't take my oxygen and I would get in trouble. Well, not trouble, but she would say, "Katie, you need to put on your oxygen." And I'm like, "Why?" Like I'm just visiting. And she would check my O2 sats and they'd be in the 60s. And I'm like, I don't understand why this is happening. And so then after that, we were on, I was on oxygen. Dalton, for some reason, Dalton got on oxygen at the same time I did. I think his numbers were bad too. But, I don't really remember his story. But that's my story. And that's the time. It was back in, I think it was March of 2013. January, February, or March of 2013. I remember it was cold. I can't remember anything else. But anyways, um, yeah. So let me give you an example. Yesterday, I felt really good yesterday. Like physically, I felt really good, and I got a lot done. And there was a point in the house where I was just working around the house, and I didn't wear my oxygen. And most people would be like, why aren't you wearing your oxygen? Like, you need that. You need that. And like, yeah, I do need it for my numbers, but like if you're not going to go forever without your oxygen, then my numbers would be okay for just a few minutes, like without being tied to an oxygen concentrator, because it's really annoying, and I just didn't feel like wearing it. So, like, I got off my oxygen and did a few things around the house. And when I went to go check my O2 sats, they were in the 70s. So I had to put my oxygen back on. But but that's just an example. Like I was feeling a little short of breath, but I was still like it was like back before I got my oxygen. That's how I felt yesterday. Let's see another example. Yesterday I went to my cousin Adam's house to visit him and Lauren and the kids, and it's either yesterday or the day before. But anyways, um, so I went there and uh, I was there for a good 15 minutes, and I didn't wear my oxygen in there either. And, um, if you see me out in public, I'll always have my oxygen on just because number one, I get winded really easily most of the time. Number two, like if somebody sees you without your oxygen, they automatically think you're like 100% cured. And despite the fact that, you know, I still need a transplant, like that's not like just because I don't wear my oxygen for 20 minutes, like doesn't mean like it's a miracle. Um, So that kind of gets on my nerves that people just automatically assume without. If you see me in public and you have a question, come up to me and ask me a question. Like, I would love to answer questions about anything. I mean, as long as I know the answers. If I don't know the answer, I'll just tell you I don't know. But yeah, so I'm gonna cut this video a little short. Well, it's been 10 minutes, so but feel free. I'm gonna post this on my Facebook wall and on my blog. Feel free to leave me any questions you have about O2 saturations, about oxygen, about anything in the comments on Facebook. You can private message me on Facebook, or if you're watching this on my blog, then I will um, leave my email address and the information, and you can email me your question. So, thank you all for watching. I hope you learned a little something, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks.